Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. So there's this news article that all of you have been linking me to nonstop today, which is Apple to allow outside app stores an overhaul spurred by EU laws. I wanted to dig through this a little bit and just go over what the typical Apple playbook tends to be when something like this happens and tell you what I think is going to happen as a result of that. So it says that the act requires technology companies to allow the installation of third-party applications and let users more easily change their default settings, which I think is a good thing. More freedom is a good thing. Now, the question that I would have is, does this mean that the EU is choosing the gatekeepers, such as the app stores, or that you're actually just going to be able to install random third-party apps in your iPhone, like what I can do with an Android phone, where I can just download an APK and install it without having to have the say-so and the pat in the head from Sundar Pichai to be able to install that application. As long as the application is competently designed, I can install it and I can use it regardless of what the source which is what I would like to be able to do. It says to help protect against unsafe applications, Apple is discussing the idea of mandating certain security requirements even if software is distributed outside its store. Such apps may also need to be verified by Apple, a process that could carry a fee. Within the App Store, Apple takes a 15 to 30% cut of the revenue. And this is where, again, you have to be really careful when you're crafting these types of legislation to ensure that something like that is not doable. If you say that you need to allow people to install third-party applications, but then you say, okay, well, they can only install applications that have been verified by us for security, and there may or may not be a certification process that may or may not cost almost the exact same amount of money as the App Store fee, that kind of ends up being an end run around it. When it comes to right to repair, Apple's playbook tends to be to release something that seems like it's doing something without actually doing something. So as I discussed here 3 years ago, Apple's independent repair program is a useless PR stunt. The Apple IRP program requires that I sign something that says they can inspect my store, and if I have certain things at my store that they don't want me to have, that I can get in trouble for that. Certain things like schematics, which are not in the program, board views, which are not in the program, LCD cells by themselves from LG or AU Electronics, which are not in the program, CD3215 and CD3217 chipsets and ISL 9240s, which are not in the program. If I have these things, they can inspect my store and get me in trouble for the fact that I have these things in my store. They don't make these things available via their system, so their system looks like it's doing what it's supposed to. It is an independent repair program, but it is functionally useless and worthless. I would not be able to do any of the repairs that I do for any customer that walks into my store as a result of signing up for that program. It is massively restrictive. It doesn't give me access to anything, yet it looks like to regulators that they are doing the right thing. And in many cases, they have been able to actually fool regulators into believing that, well, you already have a repair program, so there's no need for them to actually comply with any of the legislation that is being proposed. And the question for me here is going to be, well, is it going to be that easy to fool the EU? If they say, okay, we will open it up so any app store can exist, but all the applications in this app store have to be verified and certified by us for security purposes, that kind of defeats the purpose altogether, because they could make any sort of claim regarding security and then say that that app is not allowed to exist in the store. I mean, you see when we go to these hearings and you'll have people saying that magtrometers will explode in microwaves, games will play consoles, and all sorts of just asinine, ridiculous garbage that they will make up, and legislators will buy it. So I really do want to see how that works there. You know, the founder of Futo, the organization I work at now, has said one of the hardest messaging jobs we have at Futo is convincing people to do something that is arguably less secure in the name of their sovereignty. So not having the application be examined by Apple may mean that there is a chance of it being less secure. However, you now have the ability to install what you want on your own device. You own your device. You choose what you put on your device. You choose what code you run or what code you don't run, not somebody else. And I do agree with him there. I do believe that the sovereignty aspect of that is more important than the potential security issues. And I hope that the EU is able to do something there so that they're not able to just do a complete end run around it and pretend that they're actually being more open when they're not. But I'm genuinely curious what you guys think in the comments down below. Oh, by the way, last thing before we end this video, speaking of random open source software and stuff like that, if you are open to come in Austin, Texas, we have a fellowship program here at Futo. I'll leave a link down below where you get anywhere from $20,000 to $80,000 for you and your team. You get free housing, you get free airfare, you get mentorship from people that have been Silicon Valley veterans for over 25 years, from small pieces of software to multi-billion-dollar deals. It is a lot that you will be able to learn from this program. You will get to work on a piece of software of your choosing, not our choosing, as long as your software doesn't abuse the end user and is open source. We welcome your applications for this fellowship program. That's it for today, and as always, hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.